I help people to not focus on the little thing that's holding them back from the bigger things that are waiting. You know, I lost a $70,000 commission, and this was in about 2004, and I'd really worked hard on a thing, and it was literally, you know, it just didn't happen, and somebody else got the commission, and that happens in real estate. And I was really furiously mad because I'd done so much. You know, I'd worked so hard. I'd picked people up at the airport and taken them out to lunch. And this happened a few times, you know, flying into San Diego. And I worked really hard and lost $70,000 commission. And that was kind of earned to me. And I didn't have a certain contract that could have sealed that. I had all the other documentation, but not a little 2-3 page thing that I needed. And I went to my manager, and I was furious. And I said, you know, this is just wrong. You know how hard I've been working. I've given my life. And Craig started pointing out, my manager at that time, and he started pointing out things to me about attitude. And he said, you know, let me tell you a few things. And he started, you know, you don't want to hear that. Don't tell me, you know, you don't understand. You know, you just don't. And he was telling me a few stories. One story is about a guy called Bernie. And Bernie was a manager of a lumber yard in Los Angeles, 49 years old, worked very hard, and things were going well. The company was running at a profit, and everything was just great, and Bernie was systematic and doing everything that he had to do. And walks in on a Monday morning, and the owners walk in, and they said, Bernie, thank you very much for giving, you know, your life to this corporation and that, but Bernie, you're fired. And he said, what? This is ridiculous. Everything's going well. I mean, I'm doing everything you told me to, and we're running as a profit. And he said, well, we believe that we need to take our corporation in a new direction. Okay, now we've seen CEOs get fired and different people lose jobs. And he said, but I've done nothing wrong. So he was really mad. And anyway, he got attorneys and lawyers, and he called Ron, anyway, he drove down to San Diego County. San Diego, and he spent an evening with his friend called Saul Price, you know, the owner of Price Club and now Costco. And they had dinner together, and Bernie was just whining about this whole thing and how he's been done in. You know, work gave his life, his family, everything towards his job and his career. And Saul Price just listened to him. And he said after the dinner, I want to show you something. Let's go into a room. I want to show you something. Went into this room. And there was like 6 or 7 foot stacked papers and all this litigation and 3 years of his life. He said, Saul Price said, Bernie, 3 years of my life has been robbed, has been totally taken away from me because of a specific lawsuit, and here it is. And he said, I'm going to encourage you, drop that case. Leave it. It's going to kill you. Bernie, you've forgotten about the dream that you've been speaking to me for years. Get connected to your dream again. Change your attitude of just this fighting and put your attitude on your dream that you think, you know, thing you've been hoping for. And he drove back home. What does Saul Price know? You know, he doesn't understand what I'm going through. And this is a story that was telling me at this time because I went through, you can imagine when I went through my little thing. That night he went to bed in Los Angeles. When he got home, and he called his attorney the next morning and said, stop the case, off the case, we're not going to do it. Today we've got Home Depot. Today we've got Home Depot. Sometimes our attitude can be so to fight the little thing and whatever, but there's a whole dream out there. There's something much bigger and massive just waiting for us. But we get caught up on the little things that hold us back. And that thing spoke to me. And that, when I heard that, it set me free to forget about the 70,000 and to be open to the 700,000 that I couldn't see. I couldn't see because I was focusing on the little sausage, the little 70,000. And we get so caught up in our attitudes about the little things. And we break relationships and we destroy things. But there's a massive thing waiting, just waiting for us over there.